Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood. With 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups, McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. And by Turner Wood & Smith, serving your insurance needs for over 100 years. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We start this week's show with our football game of the week, and that was contested at East Hall Stadium, and it saw the Vikings bounce back and win a non-region battle over visiting Johnson 42-23. Vike quarterback Devin Watson came off a long rest the day before as he was battling a migraine headache. He seemed to recover pretty well because he threw for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 33 yards and 2 more scores in the win. And afterwards, videographer Henry Gomez and I had a chance to speak with Devin Watson. Devin, Coach Gray said even though this wasn't a region game, you guys needed this one. How big a win was this?
It was good. Going into region play again, trying to win out so we can make it. So it's a good win so we get to start back on region.
The running game came along, complimented your pass a little bit. That's got to give you some encouragement.
Yeah, not depending just on me. Got other guys around me that can make plays, not just with my arm, but just with their feet too.
Has this been a frustrating season in some ways for you? I mean, you score a lot of points, but you give up a lot of points. But tonight, you had some of your younger players in there giving up some points. But you guys, the defense played pretty well for long stretches of time tonight. That's got to give you a little bit of a break too, huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. We still ain't played that complete game. So coming in the region, we're going to have those 3 complete games and hopefully go to the playoffs. Watson
threw to Jacques Ash for a 40-yard score and to Jaquin Hopkins for 26 yards after East Hall had recovered a fumble. Hopkins, in fact, made a great lying down catch for the TD, and then he caught the 2-point conversion pass as well. He even ran one in from 31 yards out to finish with 61 yards rushing on the night. He was happy with all of that as well as what the team did.
We just wanted to come out here and just get back on our feet. We've been kind of coming off a tough loss last week. We just wanted to come back, just to get a win on our belt, to get our confidence back, just get us moving back in the right direction.
You had a good game tonight. You had a touchdown rushing and 1 pass. Got to ask you about that touchdown catch with you laying on your back, and you reached up and snatched it out of there. Well, tell me about the route and tell me what you're thinking.
Oh, the route was I was just running numbers vert, and I knew he was going to throw it to me because the corner came up and bit on the out route. So I just kind of just threw it to me. I just kind of just made the catch. It was a good catch, so I just,
And then you came right back and got the conversion.
Oh, yes, sir. I had to throw it up to me. I was like, well, might as well just made a good catch. I might as well make another one. So I just got it for our team.
What does this do for the confidence of the team as you get ready to head down the stretch? With some things still on the table for you to play for?
Oh, yes, sir. It is. It's very big for us. We was coming off a tough loss last week, as I said, and, it was just a big confident gainer for us to get back on our feet and head back into region next week.
Ash had 62 yards on the ground and another score, while Victor Adame was 6 for 6 on extra points. The win was something they really needed, said Viking coach Brian Gray. I know this wasn't a region game, but how big was this win for you?
We needed it. We needed to get some confidence going. We need to get our D and O somewhat on the same page, and we started to get there tonight. We still have a lot of mental mistakes, but we're going to get better, and we know that we got a big one next week, and we're happy to get this. Anytime you can play a rivalry against a tough, scrappy team like Johnson, it's positive.
I thought that you showed some prowess in your running game tonight to complement the passing attack.
That was our goal. We wanted to run the ball. We felt that running the ball was what we got to do to open up the pass, and we were able to run the ball. We got some real confidence doing that, so we're happy with that.
I thought that for a while there, your offensive and defensive lines were coming along pretty well too.
They did. We haven't gelled on either side of it really until the last couple weeks. They've been starting to find their niche, and I'm glad to really see them starting to push and be physical, because I know we can be.
So now the rest of the schedule, maybe this gives you a little impetus, a little push?
We do. We need it. We got 3, I think, a couple big ones left. I don't know how many, 3 games, I guess, that we need to get focused, and we need to play as hard or better than we did tonight if we're going to be successful.
Now, Johnson had actually jumped into a 3-0 lead only to see East Hall score 35 unanswered points. Isaac Henry hit a 26-yarder for that short-lived edge. The Knights also got scoring on a 29-yard interception return by Orion Pittman in Henry's PAT, as well as a 65-yard catch and run from Chase Sims to Javier Silva. The try for two was no good for that final score once again, 42-23 East Hall on top. Johnson has a week off, and East Hall will host Franklin County. Now, the Lions from Franklin led West Hall for a while, but the Spartans got it together and wound up taking the lead, then pulling away for a 27-12 victory. Quan Williams had 2 TDs and 100 yards rushing, while Cameron Millsap ran one in from 3 yards out. Bradley Hodson made the extra points and field goals of 40 and 32 yards as well. Taekwon Statham had 75 yards of offense, and Tristan Hester had an interception for the Spartan D. West Hall will host Fannin County in a crucial 7 AAA game this Friday, and we'll be there. That'll be our game of the week. Fannin's pretty tough, surviving a 35-28 shootout with Dawson County last Friday. Okay, Riverside Military Academy got on the winning side of things. 21-0 over Oglethorpe County. They had 401 yards of total offense. In the passing department, Avery Cagle was 5 for 11 for 121 yards, 5 for 11 with 121 and 2 touchdowns. On the rushing side of things, Chris Rosado had 13 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. Avery Cagle was 8 for 60 yards on 8 carries, and Malik Falk had 7 carries for 44 yards for the Eagles. On the receiving end of things, Chris Howard had a couple of receptions for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Jordan Ainsley was 3 for 3 on his PATs. Tariq Holmes had 2 interceptions for the Eagles on defense. And Riverside will be hosting Greene County on Friday. The Tigers are 3-4 and coming off a bye week. Lakeview came from 20 points down to nip Athens Academy, 29-28. Tate Turner scored 3 TDs, while David Abbey threw a touchdown pass to Thaddeus Webb. Lakeview will play at Athens Christian on Friday. Athens Christian thumped George Walton 35-7 last Friday. Now, a couple of our other local teams bounced back after losses the week before. For instance, Flowery Branch overpowered Appalachia 52-28. Jeremiah Goss had a 90-yard scoring run for the Branch and finished with 152 yards and 4 scores. Branch quarterback Jason Johnson had scoring runs of 55 and 52 yards as well as a touchdown pass. Will Filson added a 44-yard field goal to the scoring mix. Now the 3-4 Falcons will host Loganville next. The Red Devils are 4-3 after Salem beat them 31-27 on Friday. Gainesville quarterback Mikey Gonzalez hit his stride with 305 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, and GHS added a special team score in the Elephants' 35-10 win over visiting Clark Central. Todrick Turner blocked a gladiator field goal attempt, and J.D. Sosby scooped and scored on a 70-yard jaunt with Turner leading the blocking. Gonzalez threw 2 scoring passes to Rodney Lackey and hit Messiah Dorsey and Chris Williamson for a TD apiece. Williamson's was a 65-yard catch and run. Michael Bird added 60 yards on the ground for the Elephants, who go on the road at Cedar Shoals on Friday. The Jaguars fell to 0-7 with a 2-point loss, 37-35 to Winder Barrow. Madison County kept North Hall winless, 49-20. A 95-yard kickoff return and a fumble turnover helped do the Trojans in. Maddox Turner had 86 yards rushing, including a 31-yard score for North Hall. Drew Atha and Kyle Backus had short touchdown runs for the Trojans, who host winless Monroe area next. Somebody should get their first win of the season there. Local crowds have discovered playoff volleyball is pretty exciting. The Lady Vikings and Lady Trojans played their way into the second round of the state tournament. That story when Hall County Sports returns. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with child care, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael's Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. And we're doing volleyball this segment, and some of our local teams got into the state playoffs last week. Both 7 AAA area champion East Hall and 8 4A runner-up North Hall advanced to the second round. East Hall had to come from 2-1 down in the best-of-5 sets format to beat visiting Ringgold. Allison Siggers is credited with stepping up and sparking the rally. She's tabbed with 23 kills and 14 points on serve. Casta Shockley added 45 assists and 7 kills, while Emily Roberts put in 13 kills, 5 blocks, and a dig. And the coach of the Lady Vikings, Ted Deppy, joins us on the set now. And Ted, first of all, congratulations. This is the first. Now, I see it sometimes referred to as the area title or the region title. Is it the same thing in volleyball?
Yes.
Okay. But the first region area title in school history, record number of wins. You guys are playing awfully well.
Yeah, we're playing well. We set out this at the beginning of summer. Had a goal in mind to win a region championship, and we've been blessed enough to accomplish that goal, and winning our first state playoff game in school history was a wonderful thing. So we're riding high and hoping that we can continue playing well.
Season of first then for you, right? All this kind of stuff, the record number of wins. What is your record now? You've got well over 40 wins now, right?
We're 43-14.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, when you had this group of girls coming back, because you knew you had some talent, and you have been building steadily over the last several years, you had to kind of figure, though, this was possible. This was possible. It was out there on the table, huh?
I knew that we had an opportunity to play well. I was asked at the school several times by others. What do you think you're going to have next year? Now that you've had a couple seniors that have led the program to certain things, and certain people didn't think that we would have an opportunity to play as well as we have, and I had faith and belief in the system that we put forth, and the girls stepped up, and they believe in each other. That's one thing that we've talked about all year. They truly believe in each other. They want each other to be successful, and I think that's why we've had the success we've had.
I mentioned these names, and we read about them in the newspaper, and we hear about them here on Hall County Sports. But talk to me some about some of your leadership and who the people have really been doing it for you this year.
Allison Seegers was the Region 7 AAA Player of the Year. She stepped up, and I think I made a comment in the paper. My moving her to outside. She was a middle hitter for 2 years. I moved her to outside this year. My moving her to outside was probably one of the best coaching decisions I've ever made. She has
and she bought into that, didn't she?
Yes, and she said, "Coach, I'll do what you need me to do," and she's loved it. She's actually never served in her career, and is second in the state in aces. Broke the school record in aces. So she stepped up. Emily Roberts has stepped up, played well for us. Cassida Shockley is 5th or 6th in the state in assists. So we've got a well-rounded group of kids that have really played well for us this year.
This type of thing, too, there has to be some intangibles, not just talent. You got talent, and you knew that coming back. But there have to be some people, like you talk about the hard work in the offseason, but that's kind of a tangible. What are some of the intangibles that have led you to this record number of wins and the first region title in school history?
I think that these girls, the things that we can't coach. One is heart, the desire to be the best that they can be. I've said it all year. These girls truly believe in each other. They're a family. And this is, as far as my coaching career, this is the first team that I've coached that really bought into we don't care who gets the praise or the glory for what we do, because we're a team, and they just all want each other to be successful. And there are those battles within the team, but when it comes down to it, they want each other to be successful, and that as a whole has brought our team to where we are.
And that had to be pretty evident when you got down and could have. I'm going in against a 4 seed, but that's a lot of pressure, and I'm sure they felt some pressure. But the fact there is that they played together as a team and came back, and that sort of gives the truth to what you're just talking about.
Yep. They were nervous in the locker room. We've only had, I think, 3 or 4 of our girls were on the team that when we went to state 2 years ago. So we had 8 or 9 girls on our team that they'd never gone to state, and the nerves showed early. It did take us 3 games really to figure out what they were doing. We had not played a team that played like they had all year, and Allie stepped in the 4th game. In the huddle we were talking, and I was talking to him. She said, "Girls, it's time to step up and do our job," and we were blessed enough to win the 4th and 5th sets and continue on.
All right, Ted Deppie, the head coach of the Lady Vikings volleyball team, and into the state playoffs now. And Ted, hope you can take it a little farther, brother. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
Ted Deppy. Now, just a couple of quick notes on some other volleyball. North Hall swept by visiting Mary Persons in 3 straight sets in AAA. Lily Pascal had 24 assists, 5 aces, and 2 digs. Sydney Cleveland played her usual fine all-around match with 9 kills, 5 aces, 3 digs, and a block, and Bly Belcher chipped in 5 kills and 5 aces. Lakeview, though, lost out in the first round of the Class A state tournament with a 4-set loss to Fellowship Christian. Katie White totaled 39 digs, 6 kills, and 3 aces. Skylar Miller added 35 digs and 3 aces, and Bailey Tolles put in 16 assists, 5 digs, and 2 aces for the Lady Lions. We'll be wrapping it up when All County Sports concludes. Gary Glenn back here on the set of Hall County Sports Television along with Pastor Rob Bruce, who is the pastor at McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. And Rob, in a new sermon series now.
That's right, Gary. We're starting this Sunday, 40 Days of Fruitful Living, which is about what it means to be a Christ follower and really the price we have to pay to do that. So we'd like to invite you to come on out and hear what we have to say between now and the end of November.
All right, Rob, sounds good. We'll see you in church on Sunday.
Thank you, Gary.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. Now, this past Saturday, for all the karate enthusiasts around, Sheetacon, North Georgia presented the 3rd annual Fall Brawl. It was held at the Mulberry Creek Community Center over there around Flowery Branch. And joining us now from Full Throttle Fitness, the man who served as meet director for that, Kelly Leo. We had Kelly on before, you may remember, several weeks ago when he did that fighting the 100 guys at a time, you know,
Yes,
and you're all recovered from that, right?
I'm recovered.
Not going to do that again, are you?
No, that's it. Through with that.
Through with that. So this must have been at least a little bit of a break for you. I mean, I know it was a long day with lots of folks, but to serve as meet director, you're actually not having to worry about being a competitor.
No, I got to enjoy some good fights, good competitions, anywhere from katas all the way to point fighting to knockdown with no pads. Kind of like what I did, but they got to go at it and try to knock each other out. It was a good day.
Now, the age groups on this, Kelly, were from little kids all the way up to the senior martial artists, right?
Yes. We had ages from 5 to 55. I think was our oldest competitor this time around. So and they all in between, and just had a good group of good competitors, good martial artists from all over the Southeast. World Yoshikai was another organization that brought some people. Sheetacon Atlanta, which is our head director, Richard Trammell. For the Southeast, he brought some people. Again, we had Full Throttle Fitness members as well. Just some all over pretty much South Carolina, Blairsville, Alabama, Lower Alabama. I think one from Florida came up to compete as well.
Oh, so a big crowd.
It's pretty good size. You know, it could be bigger, but it's only our 3rd year, so we're growing. So,
what got this started? This is the 3rd time you've done this. So, what was the impetus?
Well, we started in my first two years. We did it in my dojo just to kind of get it out there and get it started, and it grew a little bit bigger on my 2nd year. So I figured I'd go to a bigger place, which we did the Mulberry Creek this time, and it was actually a little better. It's probably about the same size as last year, but we had a bigger facility, and everybody could kind of spread out a little more, and it wasn't as crammed. So. We decided to do it just to kind of get the word out and just let everybody know about this new sport to this area. It's been around for a long time.
Oh, sure.
But we wanted to get everyone aware of what we do here in Hall County.
Okay. Now, folks, Kelly is a North Hall alumnus and kind of dabbled around with some basketball and football there. But then you went into martial arts full time. What drew you to this sport?
Drew me to the Japanese style of karate.
Yeah.
It's more my personality, I think. I'm kind of just like in-your-face type fighter. I was doing kickboxing, point fighting, things like that. But when I was introduced to this style of martial arts, actually, the way I got into Shidokon is they have what they call triathlon rules, and the rules would change from knockdown karate for 3 rounds, and you would go to Thai boxing with judo throws for 3 rounds, then you would go full MMA for 3 rounds, and it would be in a tournament format, so you would have 3 fights in one night to win. So you could potentially, it would be potentially like 27 rounds to, if you had to go all rounds through the night. So you had to be in fairly decent shape, had to kind of study a little of every kind of aspect of fighting, because the rules would change, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas in MMA today, if you're a good wrestler and you don't want to get hit, you could take them down right away, you know. And but if you're good, you had to be a good striker for the first 3 rounds. You had to understand knockdown karate. You had to understand Muay Thai in the second segment of the fighting. And then you had to understand the ground fighting and how to protect yourself. If you weren't the best there, you could hopefully bang them up with the striking before you got there.
This was actually a tournament type format too that you just held, right? You crowned champions in various age classes. Do you do like age and weight divisions? Is that kind of thing?
We do age, weight, and we also do by belt rank. We have beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And we go through all the way through katas, all the way through. And we went katas, then we went to point fighting. All the kids were done first. Then we started the adult program and stuff. And then again, we had adult katas. We had black belt adult katas. We had beginner, intermediate, and
now,
advanced.
is that the forms, the kata?
Forms, yes,
okay,
the forms.
okay.
And then we would go to point fighting, and then we did semi-knockdown and then knockdown. The difference between semi-knockdown and knockdown is you have pads. You're still going full contact. This the semi-knockdown, you wear pads and a little more protective gear because people just aren't used to clashing bone to bone. You know, and then after a while they go to knockdown with no pads.
When you find parents that bring little kids to you, like the 5 and 6 and 7-year-old kids, I've found when I've interviewed karate folks, they say, well, they get into it not necessarily for the self-defense, although that's part of it, but for the confidence and the discipline.
Correct.
Is that what you experience?
Yeah, that's one of the first things I talk about when they come in on the first day, and we talk about it every day when we're teaching as far as the kids go. Is one of the most important things I wanted to learn is respect. If they wind up being a great fighter or a great competitor, that's the gravy on top of everything else. But I want them to, at the end of the day, if they don't continue for the rest of their life, that they've got a good experience and they wind up being a good person throughout the rest of their life. That's kind of what we're about. That's
really what sports should be about, isn't it?
Yes, sure.
Teach you that kind of thing.
All the way around.
So where are you going to go with this? Going to do this again?
Yes, I'm going to do it again. I'll do it again next year. We're hoping to have maybe a second one sometime in the spring. We don't know. We're still up in the air on that, but I'm definitely going to keep this one going and keeping it growing. I'm talking to a sanctioning body this week actually about possibly bringing on, becoming part of their circuit, so we can hopefully bring more competitors and stuff like that, and not compete with other tournaments on the same day and things like that. So
absolutely.
we can help kind of grow the sport.
All right. Kelly Leo, thanks for coming in again, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck with this in the future, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, we've got cross country in our wrap-up and more things to talk about when we continue with Hall County Sports.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Proper maintenance is vital to the life of your car. Let the experts at Mountain View Auto Repair take care of all your vehicle needs. Owner Danny Hammock has over 50 years of experience in the automotive business and has earned a reputation of being honest and fair with his customers.
We try to treat everybody like I want to be treated. That works out pretty good, and try to keep a price as low as possible to keep people coming in and give them a good price for their money. We do whatever turns up on a car, any kind of work, any kind of car, just it don't really matter. We do it all. People say, when you going to quit and retire? I say, probably never. As long as the Lord let me work, I'll probably be here working.
I've been trading with Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair for about 20 years. I've always been very happy with his work. It's very easy for me to talk with him. He doesn't talk down to me. He explains it in a manner that I can understand.
Most of my customers are like friends here. I've known them so long, and count them as, most all of them as friends to me.
Remember, when you want honest, reliable service, put Mountain View Auto Repair under your hood.
Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. And by Turner Wood & Smith, serving your insurance needs for over 100 years. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. We start this week's wrap-up with hitting the trails. We had a lot of action in cross country. The Riverside boys second in their own invitational meet with the Eagles' Lex Joya winning the individual race by more than 41 seconds in 18:06.8. Evan Soggs ran third for the cadets, and Social Circle edged out RMA by a single point for the team title. Oglethorpe County was third. Freshman Lindsey Grader ran second out of a field of 106 runners for the Chestatee War Eagles at the Sharp Top Invitational in Jasper in 19:37.75 over the 5K distance. Jack Carnes and Ivan Martin both placed in the top 20 on the boys' side with times of 17:36.43 and 17:45.53 respectively. The Sharp Top Invitational featured 25 high schools from across the state with all classifications. Well, North Hall boys finished 11th and Flowery Branches guys 15th in the championship flight of the ultra-prestigious and very, very competitive Coach Wood Invitational at North Georgia College's Oakwood campus this past Saturday. Now, hundreds and hundreds of runners were at this thing. Marietta was first in that particular class, the championship flight. St. Pius was second and Milton third. Now, the Trojans' Quentin Miles ran 16th individually in 16:34.98, with Jake Schubert of the Branch 20th individually in 16:48.55. Riley Friedman of Galloway broke 16 minutes to win this thing. He ran a 15:50.34 to win it. Wow. Also at that Coach Wood meet, Johnson was second to Kennesaw Mountain in the boys varsity Cardinal division, led by Junior Suarez, individual second in 16:44.3. Christian Nix of East Paulding won the class in 16:38.19. Also for the Knights in the boys class, Isaac Hernandez finished fourth and Javier Gonzalez ninth. The Johnson girls ran third behind Centennial and Norcross, led by Evelyn Avicia in 9th, Hannah Rogers in 12th, and Arisbel Saucedo in 14th. Now, here's something. Now, this was a JV division, they called it. It was the JV Blue division, but Lakeview's Lewis Brooks won this. He ran a 17:30.42, and that made him first in a field of 573. Lakeview was 14th as a team and Johnson 9th in that particular division. In the girls' varsity gold division, Flowery Branch ran 10th and North Hall 17th in the class won by St. Pius. Michaela Ellis of the Lady Trojans 11th overall individually in the class in 20:51.8. Now, turning to college cross country, the Auburn men's team finished second behind Clemson at the Crimson Classic last week at the Harry Pritchett course in Tuscaloosa, in Alabama. Senior and grad student Ty McCormick, a North Hall alumnus, won his second consecutive race and his third of the season with a time of 24:27.86. McCormick defeated Kennesaw State's Daniel Garcia, who finished runner-up by over 30 seconds. McCormick's old team, Clemson, where he got his undergraduate degree. Well, let's go to softball. Flowery Branch made the 5A state tournament, but their stay was rather short. They lost in the first round to Cambridge 8-1 and 12-0. The Lady Falcons end the season at 15-19. And finally, Randy Sizemore won the recent Chicopee Woods senior golf event, beating Jim Foote in a playoff. Dwayne Roberts was the super senior champion. Congratulations to them all. That's our show for this week. I'm Gary Glenn. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. And by Turner Wood & Smith, serving your insurance needs for over 100 years.
Oh,